Are we live? Are we live, guys? Can you see me? Sorry about that. I started the stream. I started the stream, but I didn't connect it. I thought I was connected. I was over here talking to you guys, but I had not clicked to go live. My apologies. I mean, I clicked go live, but I didn't confirm it, so I was never live. I was only talking for a minute anyway, so it's all right. But sorry about that, guys. I was here just like 2 minutes ago. Basically, what I was saying was let's get right into the charts. Hey, what's going on? What's up, Riza? Let's get right into the charts because things are happening right now, and I want to keep an eye on this, a very close eye. What's up, Rick? Greetings to Chazmandu. Woke up to a nightmare, so did I. Bad or good day, depends on how you look at it. If you were holding from up high, today's definitely not your favorite day. But if you were looking for a better entry, today's your day. Or at least it's getting close to that. Cedric, what's going on, man? You're watching the nightmare unfold and woke up to a bigger one? Yeah, same. I was awake. I was talking to you there. It was absolutely crazy. I did not expect. Now, we know the price target that I was talking about, guys. I've been saying Bitcoin is super overextended. Looking at history, this is not a healthy way for Bitcoin to trade if we want a sustainable uptrend. So we need a pullback at least to the 200 EMA. All right, and I meant that in a hitting that target in a normal sense. I did not mean I expected a flash crash to happen overnight where we would not only go to the 200 EMA but then go $4,000 below it. Did not see that coming. All right, I don't think anybody did. I'm not going to pretend like I knew that was going to happen. All I knew was we needed a pullback. That pullback I did not expect. And wow, was that a pullback. One thing, guys, before we move too much forward, I want to take a look at this pattern that's starting to form here. Now, obviously, you're looking at this, you're like, oh, we just keep going down. It's hard to analyze these kind of things because obviously there's a lot of emotion behind them, and the emotion can mess up what's starting to form. So sometimes emotion, sentiment, news, whatever, overrules technical analysis patterns that could be starting to form. All right, but if you were just to draw some very generic support and resistance lines on these tops here and try and make sense of anything that you can see, if this will let me grab it. Wow. Okay, we'll go with that then. All right, so let's do that there. And let's just go from here. All right. Basically, what you see here is we are in a bit of a descending trend channel, but this is a descending, like a broadening descending wedge is basically what this pattern's called. So you're in a channel similar to a horizontal or diagonal trend channel where it's just, perpendicular, right? No. You know the word I'm thinking. Where the lines are right next to each other. I just embarrassed myself. The lines are right next to each other going in the same direction, right? That kind of thing would just be a standard trend channel. Then you have the channel where that kind of thing is happening, but either it's in a structured direction going up and down, but the pattern can even either be narrowing or it can be broadening as it gets towards the end. In this case, it's broadening. You can see it's widening up. And so this would be considered a broadening, descending wedge pattern. That's what we have here. If you do any kind of research on parallel, thank you, Crypto Critter. I don't know why I blinked there and why I thought perpendicular, which is crossing, was parallel. I don't know. Anyway, what is this? So if you take a look at that and you were to research, well, what is a descending, what did I say? Descending broadening wedge. A descending broadening wedge is a bullish chart pattern said to be a reversal pattern formed by two diverging bullish lines. A descending broadening wedge is confirmed valid if it has a good oscillation between the two upward lines. The upper line's resistance, the lower line is support, and then it gives you a couple examples of what could happen in those scenarios. And you can see here's one, on a move up, you start, that's actually an ascending. You can see here, and then you break out the top. You can see here what happens, you break out the top. And what you want to look for is good oscillation between the 2 points. So far, we are seeing good oscillation between the 2 points, really clean hits. All right, so people are probably starting to see this as a broadening, descending wedge, potential bullish reversal pattern. All right, so that's one thing. And this is very short term though, because we're not factoring in the price action here. If we were to do that, we'd have to look at it from a slightly different angle. But at the same time, so what I would expect if we are going to play this out as a bullish descending wedge and make a bullish breakout to the top would probably be either a clean breakout or a double bottom breakout. And that's what I was thinking we might see right here, but we fell a little low. But right here, it looks like we're trying to hold right at this spot. If you kind of zoom in a bit, see this, 1, 2. If this candle can move up and we start seeing some upward candles towards here, that could be a signal that we break out the top. All right, but at the same time, like I said, emotions, news, other catalysts can break patterns that look like they're forming. Technical analysis is really just secondary to like common sense and just research on what's going on actually in the market to get a better idea of when to enter and when to sell. Technical analysis in a way is secondary. So take that with a grain of salt, but I am just keeping that in mind. Also, what I'm keeping in mind is that we have really strong support, being that this was the lowest level that we hit previously, right in this range, right at 46 flat up to about 46.1. And we got that touch right here at 46.1 right here, which would be perfect if we wanted that to just be like 2 bounces off the bottom, make a double bottom here, and then reverse and break out the top side. So I'm not saying I'm bullish, but I am short term looking at this from like a bullish angle, because we did fall very, 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 very far. And I, just like the market crash, when we first made that steep move down, usually every initial reaction is like an overreaction, and then you get the correction, consolidation, everyone gathers themselves, and then you start to see either a continuation of the downtrend or a reversal back to the upside to come back from where it came from. So here you can see that really steep overreaction. You can tell here, you know, people getting liquidated, longs getting forced out of their positions that were trading with leverage, all the way down to 43K. If the question is, do I think we're going to see 43,000 again? My answer would be probably not. Probably not. I genuinely didn't expect us to get down there really under most circumstances, unless something extreme happened, because you look at most of your key levels here. I did say I thought 43 would be the absolute lowest, and we know that too, because 42.5 was our key level of our key break level. That was our level of resistance before that we needed to get to the top side of. We tested as support, and then that 42.5 to 43K level was what I thought would be the absolute worst case scenario low if everything went wrong that could possibly go wrong, but you know, wasn't absolutely terrible news for Bitcoin. But I genuinely didn't expect us to really hit that. I thought we'd do the conservative bounce to the 200 EMA. And what you can see is we did the worst case scenario drop down to 43, and then we recovered and closed right above the 200 EMA where everybody felt more comfortable. And now we're trading sideways on it, trying to see what we're going to do next. If you look at it from the 4-hour time frames perspective, If you look at it from the 4-hour time frames perspective, you can see we then had a Doji candle where everybody's like, all right, well, what next? And now we're getting another candle here, but I just don't like the... Now, keep in mind, this is a 4-hour candle, so there is still time left. This one was, let's see, 12. This is a 16-hour candle. This is a 20-hour candle. Trying to convert that to military time here. But anyway, I'm just trying to see when this candle closes. Let's see. All right, this is 4 a.m. Let's see. 8 a.m. 12. Well, it's not 20 yet. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. The point is, Doji candle. Now this next candle is usually what people look at to see, well, what's going to happen, because a Doji usually signifies or symbolizes indecision. And so people usually will look at the next candle to see which direction has been chosen. So far, we opened here at 46.7 and we're down to 46.4. So we are showing some bearish tendencies, especially because we're also entertaining the idea of closing below the 200 EMA line with that, which will probably force a continuation down. In that case, then we could probably head down towards, you know, below 46K. 45, 44. I just don't know about the 43. That was a stretch in the first place. I think it's going to be a stretch to get back there. But that is what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and drop it down to a shorter term time frame here so we can just see what's happening in this broadening descending wedge pattern that we have forming. And honestly, guys, I don't know what this music is. I just picked a random different playlist, so. But thank you all for hanging out, guys. I'll go ahead and read some of your comments. I know today's been absolutely crazy. Please feel free to ask all the questions you can think of, especially specifically if they're pertaining to any of the cryptos that we usually talk about. Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, SHIB, I don't care. Any of the main coins that aren't absolutely random, I can feel more confident answering those questions for you. Preezy says, I'm bleeding a little. Hey man, this song's for you. This sad song right here is for you. All right, we're getting a bit of a double bottom starting to form. We need to get above this EMA here, get above that one too. I don't like having those EMAs on though. Let's see if I can turn them off. There's too many. It's just too much info that doesn't tell you enough. So let's do that, and let's get rid of, wait. Oh, that's the 1 minute, the 60 minute, the, wait. Oh, I don't know how they did this. I'm using someone else's indicator here. Let's just delete that. And that's the 9. Let's just make it a 200. Did that work? Length 200, close. Same as chart. Oh yeah, okay. And then this is another 9. We'll get rid of that. Actually, let's make it a 100. Let's do a 100 EMA. And let's get one more. Moving average exponential. Let's make this one a 50. We'll just keep the main 3 up here. I don't usually refer to the 50 too much, but when Bitcoin's in really random spots, it can be a little helpful. There we go. So we've got, no, not the 9, the 100. All right, we've got the 50, the 100, the 200 here. Sorry about that little delay. What's going on, Dockin? Crazy things are happening today. Yeah, those whales really messed everybody up today. I feel your pain. Sol took a little hit, but yeah, Solana actually did very, very well, all things considered. I'm sorry, guys. I got to change this up. Solana actually did very well, all things considered. You know, during the market crash, that's why I say I like to look at, when I'm trying to decide which cryptocurrencies I'm going to hold a long position in or hold a short position in, I typically want to be in the one that has the most momentum to that direction. So Solana and ADA had the most momentum to the top side of the popular coins. Dogecoin was more short. And sure enough, Dogecoin ended up falling at a higher rate of speed than ADA, even though ADA did fall more than I thought it would as well. For example, right now, Dogecoin's down about 19% on the day, 18.5%, and ADA's down 17%, whereas Bitcoin's down 12%. So that's just a little example of how it's doing. This isn't really what you want to see here. If this is going to be a flag pattern, you'd want this to end up breaking out to the top pretty soon. What you don't want to see is us starting to get weak on, like, if you were to split this little channel in half, which I'll do right here. If you were to split this broadening, descending wedge in half, you don't want to see us starting to get stuck on the underside, looking like we're losing steam. We'd rather be on the top side, entertaining a breakout. So I'm just going to leave that line here for a moment. What's up, Juan? William, what's going on? I got a tourniquet for my bleeding, but it's not stopping. Man, it sucks when that happens. What do you think is going to happen with Doge? I think Doge is okay. It really depends on what Bitcoin's going to do right here, guys. If Bitcoin's going to fail this pattern and head down more, then we're going to have a little bit of a situation, and we might start having to entertain Doge back to 22, 23 cents. But I think that's about the bottom, because I really don't see any reason why Bitcoin right at this moment in time should be going under 40, like 42.5, 43,000 and staying under there. There's no negative catalyst that should be really making it do that randomly. So to drop from 52 to under 43 for no reason is a little wild. So I'm not entertaining that thought too much, because it probably won't happen. If anything, I'm thinking, you know, we're pretty close to where the bottom should be. Pretty close. Whether or not this is it or not is going to have to be seen. There's some technical supporting the idea that it could be if this moves up from here, and it's looking like it wants to, and then breaks out the top side. But then still we have the 200 EMA yet again at about 47. It's probably just going to bounce off there and pull back. How far will it pull back? Will it dump from there? You just kind of have to wait these things out. There's no good answer looking too far into the future. But I'm trying to analyze it the best I can as we get more info. Right now, it's just hard. We don't have that much quite yet. Had to get that off my chest. Weird day was just a good support. The sellers knew what timing's best. Yep. Can't believe it went to 21. Me neither. 21 is very, very, very low. And then I really can't believe ADA went down to $2.07, guys. $2.07. Now, deep down, I knew we needed that 200 EMA, or even the 100 EMA pullback to 270. I did not expect to see a $2 flat ADA today. But that's due to the crash. Let's see. What's up with the music? I know it was kind of random there. I was just trying to not just get through my statement without focusing too much on the playlist. What's up, crypto? Yep, tend to break upwards, exactly. Tend to. Emphasis on tend. These patterns, except for head and shoulders and bull flags, a lot of these patterns do not always play out the way that they should. And that's because most people aren't familiar with all the different variations of patterns. And don't forget, patterns are just to indicate to people what good buy and sell signals are. So if these people aren't familiar with that pattern, they're not going to see it as a signal, and that person won't be joining in the buying or selling pressure. So the more simple the pattern, the more obvious the pattern, the more likely it is to succeed. And the more complicated and rare and strange it is, unless you got some whales behind you supporting that pattern, it may not hold. This is a nightmare. I turned my phone on. I was up 3,000, turned it on, and was down 5K. Oh my goodness. Guys, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Like yesterday, things were looking kind of decent. I was even considering a long hold, but I did not. And then I woke up in the middle of the night, saw we had dipped a good bit, and I'm like, ooh, this looks like a really good dip, but something just, felt weird. So I took a small gain and just said I'm not going to hold overnight. But then we woke up and we had man, I would have gotten liquidated as well because I was on leverage. So definitely would have been out, because you don't have that much of a buffer to play with when you're leverage trading. But no, I understand, and hopefully we'll see a recovery really soon to get you guys out of the red, because that sucks. What's going on, Josh? What a day, indeed. Yeah, no delay. Yeah. Market manipulation. Very likely. Right. Bitcoin hit the pullback. It's been overdue for 2 weeks. I gave up on that pullback because I said, you know what? We're supposed to hit it, but we're not hitting it. So you know what? Forget it. I'm going to just not be bearish for no reason, because if it's not going to happen, there's no point in me focusing on it. Then at the most random time imaginable, when Bitcoin's supposed to be having one of its most bullish days of the year, it flash crashes. So check that out. The Doji Candle. Let's take a look at Doge in just a sec. And how's it going, Matt? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Thanks for the support. 212. Thanks. What's up, Artful? Yeah, Plan B was right on. What was the trigger? I don't think anyone's been able to identify a trigger. I have my speculations. Other people have theirs. I haven't seen anyone come out with like a statement that like this was why. The thing that just makes the most sense to me, and it's kind of lines up with some other people's opinions as well. Leverage trading. Guys, don't forget, when you are not in the United States, you are not under the United States regulations for crypto. And that means in a lot of countries, you can trade on up to like 100x leverage. So if you have $100,000, you can be trading with 10 million. If you have $10,000, you can be trading with a $1 million position size. Absolutely insane. All right. And that means someone like a noob, let's just say one of you guys in the chat that feels they don't really know how to trade yet. If you had $10,000, you can open up an account overseas and trade with $1 million worth of money. Do not do that, by the way. Terrible idea. What ends up happening is when you place a long trade, though you're now trading with $1 million position size long, you only have $10,000 still in your bank account. And they're not going to let your losses, your profits can go as high as they want, right? But your losses cannot go exceed what you actually have, because if you lose more than 10K, you can't pay for it. So that doesn't make any sense. So that means and don't forget, since you're leveraging a $10 million position size, profits and losses add up that much faster. So 100 times faster than they would if you were just invested with your own 10K. 100 times faster. So, and this is the example I gave to everybody else earlier. If you bought into a cryptocurrency at $10 with $10,000 capital and you leverage that position by 100x, so you're trading $1 million at oh no, I gave the example of 100,000. Let's just say you're doing 10x. All right, you're trading with $10,000, leveraging a $100,000 position, and you all in at $10. If the price drops down under $9, technically at $9 you are minus 10,000. So if it drops under $9 at $8.9, your account gets liquidated. The exchange will close out your position for you, and it'll just be marked as a loss, and they're going to, of course, take your money to cover the loss that you had accumulated. So your $10,000 in your account is now a $0 account. You are fully liquidated and have no money left in your margin trading account. And yeah, if that was your life savings, you have $0 now. So literally a $1 move. And that's on 10x trading. So imagine 100x. Terrible idea. But there's just probably a lot of people, and this is what I saw on Twitter as well from other people, like big names. They were just saying, foolish, over-leveraged traders, right? So there's just probably a lot of people that were bought in high, maybe bought in at 50, 51, 52, or even 49,000 on Bitcoin that had really, really large position sizes on high leverage. And they were not expecting a crash overnight, any kind of pullback. So when people start to sell, and they didn't have stop losses set, people are just getting liquidated, and it's just forcing these guys to close their positions, which counts as a sell. Sell on all of these massively leveraged positions. So the everyday person like me that might only have $10,000, I'm selling $1 million worth of Bitcoin when I get liquidated, and that's just happening back to back to back to back. And that just apparently caused this snowball effect where everybody's just getting liquidated with these massive leverage position sizes and caused a flash crash. That's the theory I have. That's a similar theory to what I've seen other people say. But I don't think there's any solid news out quite yet. Solano went to 130 and back to normal within 3 minutes. Yeah, Solano was like, oh, back, rubber band. That was pretty funny. I saw that on the chart. Exactly. I hodled, only transferred the coins to a wallet in case the exchange has problems. Anyway, it'll take longer for Doge to surpass $1. The Doge rich list number 3. Where do I find that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Solano's fine. This is just, as soon as Bitcoin gets back on its track, everything will go back to normal. What causes this whales dumping's a rug pull? Not a rug pull. You can't really rug pull these kind of coins. Just whales dumping. Whales dumping and over leveraged positions being closed. But the thing was, everyone should have kind of been wary. We know how it goes. It's always buy the rumor, sell the news. Always, always, always. I don't think there's really been any exceptions to that rule. So even for today, everyone's just super bullish on Bitcoin today because El Salvador is supposed to be buying up Bitcoin in every person has the opportunity to be given 30 Bitcoin or something like that, which is going to equate to tons of Bitcoin. Then over the last couple days, they bought $500 million worth or something like that, or billion, I can't remember. Some crazy amount of money. So everyone's like, oh, today's the day. as soon as, you know, the price is probably going to skyrocket with all these people buying Bitcoin in El Salvador. And so you start to see the pre-hype price run-up. The pre-hype price run-up. All of these last days here where we've just been bullishly with no care, just going up and 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 up with no pullbacks to the main key level of support here, and just getting super overextended. And then everybody's like, all right, well, we made it up to the point where we were probably going to stop anyway, which was right about here, which is where I called yesterday. I did not see us going above 53K, because you look at all this resistance, right? All this resistance above, that means we have to have enough strength to break through it without having a pullback to support to get all the buyers on board. That doesn't really make any sense. So yesterday on stream, I did say I thought 53K was the limit, if anyone remembers that. However, I did not think that was going to happen. But it looks like we hit that right there, 53K. And people started to sell overnight, and then maybe some people got liquidated and it started a chain reaction. But yeah, buy the rumor, sell the news. Looks like we had a case of that. Starting to trade awkwardly sideways right here. Let's just see what ADA's at right now. Who knows how it's even reacting to this? 238. So it's actually doing pretty well, because a couple minutes ago at this point here, ADA was at 235, and Bitcoin has not moved up this much. So ADA is trying to get back on track. That's good. If we flip to Dogecoin, Dogecoin's actually doing okay now. It was doing pretty bad earlier. Like I said, you know, the drop down to 21 cents is pretty brutal. That was almost back to teens. Who thought that would ever come close? But we've been just trading straight sideways here, just waiting for Bitcoin to give us the next answer. So good job, Dogecoin, for not being super emotional right there. Dogecoin's been very stable recently, which is a good sign in my opinion. But here we have Bitcoin still kind of on a downtrend here. And ADA, same thing. You can see here a bit of a curl. When we go to Ethereum, Mr. ETH, Ethereum is actually taking a pretty hard hit here, and it's not geared up as bullishly as the others. This is actually shaped up just like Bitcoin is right now, but actually a little bit worse. So that's interesting. Ethereum had a drop down to 3K, not super discounted, but wasn't too bad of a drop. Let's see how SHIB did. Ooh, a drop down to 5,000 Satoshi. Brutal. Was that a... Wait a minute. That's the lowest Shiba Inu's ever been. Jeez. SHIB hit an all-time low today. That's insane. That's like Dogecoin below 16 cents. That's what SHIB just did. All-time low. That must have sucked. How did some of the other guys we like fare? Oh, man, ACH, the dip down to... Man, I didn't even think about ACH. We got a dip down to 7, to 6. Oh, man. That's frustrating. That would have been a great buy. Let's see how AMP did. Oh. AMP did bad and still is not doing very great either. AMP is right down near 5. ACH took off like a rocket. It's already back at 9. All right, let's go back. Do I have charts back? All right, looks like ADA starting to break a little bit at 39 cents. And just so we're clear, I do think now is a potential bottoming out point. To be clear, I do think now is a potential bottoming out point. I have a small position long right now. I do have a small position long. And like I said, this is a bullish reversal pattern. Looks like we hit a bit of a double bottom here. Consolidation. We're trying to make a run to the top of this channel. What we need to do is break to the top side. Obviously, maybe do a pullback or whatever of some sort. but then continue running up and hopefully get us out of the 46,000s, well into 47, even if that means hitting the EMA at 47.9. I don't care about that. But I do think this is a potential bottom. Was just set up really nicely for it. The bullish reversal pattern, the swing low, the deep swing low here being right at that perfect spot right there. We got that touch at the exact same point. Was a perfect double touch of support, and then into a double bottom, looking like it's heading up. All the things I'd be looking for are a go for a reversal. So I do think that could have been the bottom, but I'm not going to add more yet till we get a little more confirmation. I'm not just trying to all in for no reason. Not trying to get liquidated. I did buy the dip, Matt. I did buy the dip. I got the dip I wanted and more. Now I need more chips. I got too much dip. Now I need more chips. Yeah, AMP didn't go under 5, but the scary thing is it's still at 5. But that's the whole point. AMP is not supposed to be a volatile coin that gets affected by market movement. So there's the proof right there. It does what it says. It's not going to go up like crazy when Bitcoin goes up like crazy, but it's not going to go down like crazy when Bitcoin goes down. That is not how AMP rolls. All right, so we're starting to see a little bit of a rally here. You bought the dip, Matt? Sweet. Awesome. What did you buy? Did you buy an ADA dip, or what coins did you get in? And guys, if any of the rest of you bought a dip somewhere, let me know where you bought and what coin you bought into. Bitcoin 46.7. Here we go. A little bit of a move. Feeling good. Need more chips? Yes, sir. Too much dip. Need more chips. Satama Inu's the only one killing it right now. Hey, with the dab. Staking ADA, that's a good idea. Here we go. We're breaking above the 50 EMA here. I think everybody's kind of getting on board with the thought that this could be a breakout of the top side. Starting to see some momentum in these green candles, which is nice. And we'll see how it plays out. Really, that's all there is to it. I'll leave it here for a couple more minutes since Weeble's chart has a big gap in it. Dogecoin 24, sweet. Oh, you bought Doge 24 as well, Cam? Good stuff. Got in at 2507. Sweet. Eric got in at 24 with 220K. Sheesh. All right, that is a big position size. Eric the whale. Join Rick in the boat. Rick and Lori Body. And Preezy, honestly. I think Preezy's a whale too. Just kind of flying low key. Oh, and Matt. All 6 of you on board the whale boat. Got in at 2507. How high do you think we can get back to? What's resistance at? Trying to figure out when I should sell swing trade. Yeah, we can take a look at that. If you got in 25 cents Dogecoin, well, first and foremost, hopefully we do break out of this to the top side and hold. That's the first thing. I'm just naturally looking at the EMAs here. Let's see which one's closest to us. So looking at Bitcoin's not going to give us too much. All right, one thing though, guys, we did, and this is a good sign here, we did manage to bring the potential close of this candle up back above the 200 EMA. So as long as we can close like over 46,650 here, honestly, it'd be better to just close over 47 this will not be taken as such a bad sign. We don't want to close below the 200 EMA. That's usually a bearish sign. So we can close above it. That's good news. We are still struggling a little bit here. It is just going to be another doji, and then we'll have another decision candle here as we make kind of a flag. And that candle will probably end up deciding if this one doesn't flip green pretty soon. Here we go. Really testing that little level there. Looking pretty short term though, like on a 3-minute time frame, you could see 47.8 on Bitcoin is looking like a pretty close resistance. On the 1-minute time frame, it's just saying 46.8. I don't really think we'll get stalled out there, but we'll see. Looking at just the main 3 EMAs here, by the way. 30-minute. No EMAs close, so that's kind of irrelevant. 15 is saying right around 48. So we have 2 in the 48 area. Let's check like the 1 hour. Way too high. All right. Yeah, so 48,000. You'll see here on the 2 hour we have the 100 EMA at the 48,000 level. And basically, guys, in case you haven't gotten my general thought process yet, I'm trying to see what most people are going to see. If the overwhelming majority see one, they can have 5 different indicators up per person. Let's just say there's a billion indicators. Everyone's using their own random choice of 5. But if there's one that most people will have up, they are all going to be seeing, regardless of their other indicators, this kind of one idea of where a level could be based off their EMA. So what I like to do with my EMAs, so I can see what most people are seeing, is keep the 3 main EMAs up and see which price target gets hit the most across those main EMAs. So what I'll do is I'll have a 50, a 100, and a 200 up. And if I'm looking for the next resistance up, obviously you can do a candle support and resistance by drawing lines on your chart, but to see where the indicator is going to tell most people to like maybe get out or add or short, a 50, 100, and 200, and I see where that hits on different time frames. So the 2-minute on Dogecoin, well, I don't usually like the 2-minute. The 1 minute's under us, so if we're looking up, that one's not going to really give us the info you're trying to look for. You want to see where to sell if we're going up. So 2-minute says right around 25.5 towards 26. The 3-minute, there's a 100 EMA towards 25. And then this one's here at 26. So there's probably going to be just a little bit of a rough patch. Here you can see also right at around 25.5 on the 10-minute. 26.5 there on the 15. And now these are starting to get kind of far away from us. So there's going to be a little bit of resistance there as we get to the 26-ish level. But then, and now I'm going to go back and look for what was the kind of the next idea. So over 26, there's not much going on. 27, 27, 27, 27.5. So yeah, 27 cents is probably the short-term stopping point for Dogecoin, just based off the EMAs alone. And usually that will line up with support and resistance if you were to map it out. So let me just take a look based off that kind of analysis. See what we got. Yeah, there's a lot of trading activity, especially right here at 28. But there are some rejection wicks at 27. So yeah, that pretty much lines up. You can see 26.5. You've got that first hit, and that's also where I had drawn my box before. You saw this just popped up when I went to the higher time frame. 27's where, like in this area, where a lot of the stopping was happening before, and then 28 on the higher end, you can see is just where there's kind of the most activity across the board here. So there's a couple cents left. And then from that point, I mean, it's still just up to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin powers through, then Dogecoin's going to power through. And we just got to leave it up to that. What did Bitcoin just do? Let's see. All right, it's just doing a pullback at the resistance line. 50 EMAs right here. I'm sure there's some people trying to just see what's going to happen. Yeah, they got most people at work and now they're wrecked. Yeah, people were probably asleep or working, just not looking. and just feeling super confident, super bullish on today, knowing about the El Salvador news, and just got absolutely obliterated. And that could have been a really good whale play to trigger people's like stops overnight, knowing that they were probably over leveraged and in heavy, by manipulating the price into a downtrend. And then, once we start hitting certain points where, oh, that person got liquidated, oh, that person's selling 1 million Bitcoin, oh, that person's selling $1 million of Bitcoin, and that starts to snowball, the downtrend just continues on its own, because these liquidations drive the price down, and that triggers another liquidation, which drives the price down, and now everybody's getting liquidated in like a chain. Chain liquidation, let's call it that. There's a new term. Sounds pretty good. Chain liquidation. I'm pretty sure that's what we saw. And if the whales did that on purpose, they are absolute geniuses. And maybe one day I can be like a hedgie. I want to be smart like that. I want in. I want to be in their group. Have the special handshake. In since $80, and there's the breakout to the top side. Cool. So we were right about the descending wedge, at least, kind of. What you also want to do is be more conservative. It'll probably stop here, do a fake out pullback if it wants to, because someone could have drawn their chart like this. So let's look at this as a first potential stopping target for pullback. This always happens. And there it goes, slowing down right at the level. And what might happen is it breaks slightly above it, and then it kind of fakes out and comes back down. Okay. And there it is, stopped right there at the level, at the more conservative drawing. And so this could have been like a breakout fake out, because if it stops there and just says, oh, well, you drew your chart wrong, this was the way to draw it, and then it dumps back to the bottom side, that would be unfortunate. That's why I always say draw your lines as conservative as possible. Don't let yourself get faked out, and really just avoid these kind of chasing trading styles where you short when it comes out the bottom or you buy when it breaks out the top, because that puts you at very high risk. You're buying super high. Usually you're even buying before confirmation that the resistance that was high became a support. It's just a bad idea all around. And here we go with a pullback. Now we've probably got some, the green person right here that bought right there. Probably panic sold right here. All right, it's good though that we're still holding up here. Hey, what's up, Lori? Sorry I was so slow to respond to your messages. I'm rarely on the gram. Here we go with that pullback. The clean breakout fake out, guys. Well done. Very well done. This day has been absolutely crazy. Yes, I agree. Don't know technical details on Solana, but if you're convinced in HODL long term, in my opinion, look at transaction fees, usability, acceptance of the coin, use cases like staking their contracts. Yeah, Solana's got good things going for it, especially on the technical side. I don't think Solana is anywhere near its end goal, anywhere near its end. Like I said, though, for me personally, I tend to, and I know you were talking to Rafi, but for me personally, I tend to trade much shorter term. I think Solana is probably a better, in my opinion, more of a longer term play. Short term, I'm hoping I can see a good turnaround on ADA over this next week or two with smart contracts rolling out in 5 days. Then after that, I'll probably transition to the next thing, which could be Solana if it hasn't gone too far yet. All right, here we go with the actual continuation. Let's see if it actually breaks. It's trying to find some support there at that yellow 100 EMA line. And what we're going to see soon also is a cross of the 50 above the 200 and above the 100, which is going to spark some more bullish momentum as people are like, ooh, the golden cross on the 1 minute time frame. So, will Doge bounce tonight? In what direction? You mean bounce up or like stall out and bounce down? Right now, it should be going up as we speak. Kind of happy of the dip. Good time to buy more ADA now. I'm on long term for it. Also, what do I think about staking? I'm new in crypto and learning most of it by watching your stream. Cool. Well, hey, man, Jama, I'm glad to help. Yeah, thanks for choosing my stream to learn. I'm flattered. As far as what you said there, I agree. Now is a really solid time to buy. The only concern is going to be, is Bitcoin going to do a part 2 crash? Because if that happens, then ADA could go back down towards like the 210, 220s. And that's not really a position I'd love to hold on the way down, which is why I'm a little more active. Though it's not bad. If you're in at 240, cool. Just close your phone. As long as you're not going to like go to zero. As long as you're not leveraged either. Just close your phone and come back next week, honestly. If you were able to get in at ADA 240 and you're just looking to make a profit, you might as well just close your phone and don't mess with it. Because you're in at a dip that was not really supposed to happen to that extent. You got super fortunate. Don't mess up the good thing. Here we go. Now we got confirmation of the breakout. There was a little bit more of a run. And we also just kind of want to get out of this area. I've seen too much. I've seen too much in my trading days, guys. I bought the dip, just the wrong part of it. Yeah. Could have been worse. You could have bought the top of the top. I guess. Silver lining, bright side. Do I think AMP is a safe buy in the 5 cents range? Oh yeah. AMP in itself is just a safe buy in general. That's the way they made it. But 5 cents is like towards the bottom. It's only hit, I think it hit 3 like at a terrible scenario, was like 3.5. And 4 is kind of hard to grab. 5 is pretty decent. If it's a longer term hold, I'd say 5 is pretty solid. Instead of trying to greed for 4. A little bit of stalling out here. But we did get the breakout of the top, which is good. Kind of no matter how you had drawn your descending wedge there, this did break out of the top of that channel. So what I'm going to do now, and just hope that this doesn't crash back through, because it could. That's the real breakout fake out. When you don't wait for enough confirmation and the red candle just comes right back through and then it falls out the bottom. Happens pretty often. But what I'm going to do is start looking horizontal a little bit. Oh, testing support. Here's the support test candle. Let's just take a look at it. Coinbase froze, didn't let me buy at the dip. Oh, man. I heard a lot of exchanges froze today. Very inconvenient for us and very convenient for them. Strange. Ooh, some strong selling there. Oh, man, I hate that, Lori. That happened to me on SNL day. I missed the sell-off, but I was like gone just for 10 minutes. I rushed back to the computer, and people had already started selling. Ah, boy. Here we go. This needs to hold here and get back out. Not my favorite action to get back into the trend channel. Okay. Ooh. This is why I don't like looking at the 1 minute chart, but I do it on stream. If I was actually trying to trade, I'd be feeling like, ooh, buy, oh, sell, buy, sell. There's no reason to look at candles this hard. I missed a comment. But yeah, staking ADA, I mean, staking is good. Obviously, you want to find an exchange that you trust, and then your goal at that point is just to look for, if you have a list of exchanges you trust, which one is going to give you the highest kind of interest rate for staking, which one's going to pay you the most for your staking. The thing with staking, though, is usually it's not going to give you over like 10%. And if you're a more active trader and you know what you're doing, you can easily make 10% instead of like in a month or in a year. You can make it in a day, day after day, like 5 to 10%. And not every single day, but I just mean a 10% day could be pretty just average decent. Whereas versus staking and seeing that in a year's time or something like that. So it's a slower gain, but it's way more stable. I think staking is a good idea, especially if you have a lot. Because the thing is, if you have a lot of it already, trading, of course, is risky. So if you want to not risk what you've already accumulated and you just want to see it grow, then yeah, go ahead and stake it. That's usually my idea for my concept for anything. It's like if you already have like a ton and a ton of money, there's no reason to really trade so much if you can just invest and play it that way and just get a slow return on your investment. That's usually what, people like Warren Buffett and all those kind of guys that have tons and tons of money, they don't need to trade penny stocks. They don't feel the need to trade that. They don't feel the need to trade like small cap, low float, or whatever stocks that are going to be super volatile, that are high risk, high reward. They already have their reward. So at this point, they just want that reward to grow and do so safely. So they choose to do it in, like, put it in a stock ETF that doesn't really move down, but it just tends to move up like 8% per year. Or maybe just buy into something like Bitcoin, which is stable. It's not as volatile as Dogecoin. It's not going to go crazy like Ethereum, but it's what everyone trusts to be a safe store of value that's going to go up over time. That kind of thing. And same idea for staking for me. Because you could either stake it or you can just keep control of them, is what I'm saying, and actively trade with those coins. But yeah, staking's cool. Losing a little steam on Bitcoin, at least. It looks like ADA's actually taking this as like an opportunity to just go for it. Yeah, look at ADA. ADA said, all right, I'm going to head out. And ADA's at 244 while Bitcoin is still considering how well it's going to do on its breakout. One nice thing, though, Bitcoin is pretty comfortably above its 200 EMA line here. So as long as it continues up, ADA's in a good spot. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the move here. Bitcoin's in a pretty good spot. It broke out of that descending, broadening wedge, broke above all the EMAs, holding at the 200. We're probably going to see some movement up, see it stall out, and then wait for these smaller EMAs to cross above it. Elon, can you tweet, please? Thanks. I know, right? I think I missed one comment, but I don't know which one it was. Whoever sells now wants to go down. Otherwise, it makes no sense to sell now. Yeah, I mean, you've got your panic sellers as well. But yeah, if people are just willingly selling now, there's no other reason. So what you've really got is just a lot of people shorting. If they really believe that we're not strong enough to continue up, people will just short sell, and that will make people panic and then make them sell. So, chain reaction. Thoughts on XRP? I think XRP is really good. For me personally, it has not been something that I've just decided to invest in with my other options, because I like to, and to each their own with their trading strategy and investment style, but I like to go and find what the next hottest thing is, like, as it's becoming hot. I don't necessarily care to like invest early and wait and hope. I like to see it already gaining momentum. So with XRP going through the lawsuit situation and a lot of stuff, I just kind of left it alone and waited. But now with their rumors that it's coming clean and it's going to be in a much better spot. XRP, I've said since I talked about XRP a lot when I first started streaming about crypto, and I was just talking about Dogecoin and XRP and Ethereum a little bit, but I still have the same sentiment. I think XRP think of it as like a Dogecoin, but for corporate. Dogecoin is the people's coin for daily transacting. XRP is a very fundamentally solid coin for moving money around, which is going to be great for banks and corporations, businesses, all of that stuff that wants to have a good way to move money on the back end in a decentralized way that could be cheaper than other methods. And so XRP could be and maybe even faster or more secure in a way. So XRP could be a great corporate business tool. I don't necessarily think that it's going to give Dogecoin direct competition. The name isn't as friendly. The marketing isn't the same. Dogecoin's really in a league of its own, kind of up there with Bitcoin in a way, even though obviously price-wise they differ because they're structured differently. But XRP is angled more at just like, if you know, you know. If you're not in it for fun times and you're in it for business times, you'll probably use XRP. And that's a good thing. It has its own space, its own lane. Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the stream, enjoying this content so far, click the subscribe button. It is free to do, and that will make sure that you're in for the next stream. I typically stream 5 days a week at least I do try and stream on the weekend as well, but usually I reserve that for if it's actually something interesting. I was streaming 7 days a week for a couple months, but once the market started to trade more sideways, it kind of became a little unnecessary. But if things start going crazy, we'll pick up on the weekend. That's how we do it. Bitcoin here at 46,900. This is good. Did get a touch there to 47, which is what I wanted to see. And what I want to see is us actually break above 47,000 and hold above there, not just mess with that line. I don't want to see a rejection and we go back under these levels. Let's just run the playlist back. It was pretty decent. For chill music to run in the background. Hey, what's up, Ray? Hey, no problem. No problem, man. Thank you for your answers on staking. I'm not proficient yet on trading. Still learning, pretty new in crypto. Yeah, absolutely, Jama. And most people in this chat and in these streams are brand new or relatively new. A lot of the people, especially the ones in the Discord group, were new, and they've gotten that. They've gotten a lot of information, not just talking to me, but then talking to each other as each other have picked up on different things and sharing their experiences. And so that's cool. But a lot of the people here are some of them brand new. So feel free to ask away any questions. That's why I go live. Certified lover boy. I would get demonetized for that. Am I even monetized right now? I'll think about that. Usually, if there's a lot of talking to do, I try to play instrumentals only. But COB, yeah, I listened to a couple more songs. I like some of the songs. I just don't like the whole album. But typically, that's the way it goes, right? I blame Mariano for everything. Oh, I blame Mariano for this dip manifesting 278. Hey, I made some calls. I'm not saying I'm the dump it guy, but hey, you heard me talking about the dip I needed. You didn't hear from me overnight. Next thing you know, I was awake at 5 a.m. when it dumped. So, hey, I noticed that every time AMC and GME jumps up, some crypto dips down. Just what I see happens a lot. Yeah. The thing is, you got to think about the people that trade AMC and GameStop and the people that trade volatile cryptos. They're usually the same group. They're people that are chasing a pump. And they don't really care where that comes from. It could be an AMC GameStop, which is technically a stock, or it could be in the crypto market, which trading-wise, it's the same concept. You got a lot of volatility, and you're looking at charts the same way. So people don't really care about jumping back and forth. So, yeah, that's probably the reason. When AMC and GameStop, which are the stock market pump opportunities, when they start to go crazy, it distracts from people in the crypto market. You see a lot of people that were holding crypto positions, especially in cryptos that were not doing very much. Maybe something like Dogecoin trading sideways for a week, or Ethereum not really doing anything. You'll see those people close their positions, get some more capital, and drop that into stocks. Especially on something like Dogecoin, and because Dogecoin's on Robinhood, which makes it very, very easy, and Webull, makes it very easy for you to transition from trading a crypto and with that same capital just sell and transfer it directly over to a stock. Where if you're not using a brokerage like that doesn't let you actually hold your coins, usually that's not really possible, because you could be using like a Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, Gemini, whatever, platforms that just let you trade one or the other. That's what I said I did not want to see. But all right. Keep in mind, I know how much we'd love to go back to 50, but if whales and whatnot, people trying to manipulate the market, just do these hard sells and then the retails follow out of panic, that is going to temporarily hold us back. ADA still doing fine though, which is good at 243. But and we didn't cross below the other two EMAs, but that's not really what you would have wanted to see. The rejection wick though is nice. Thievery Corporation would be good background music. Okay, I'll check that out. I was manifesting too hard. Yeah, I was scheming over here. Pulled some strings. Called my man Rick. Told him to dump it. And he sold all his position. That's why that's the real reason we cried. I mean, that we crashed overnight. Well, cried as well. But that's the real reason we crashed. I called up Rick the Whale and I said, hey, dump it. And he closed all of his positions. And that's the effect that Rick has on the market. Rick and Lori, they're both whales. Yep, I said it. Yes, they pull out money from one to put in another, and it hurts the diamond hands. Yeah, exactly. See, Rick knows. That's why he just left the haha. I blame Rick. Hey guys, I may have told Rick to sell, but I'm not the one that clicked the sell button. All right. So who are we really blaming here? You blaming the messenger, or the one that performed the action? What's going on, Bear Norris? And guys, I do have to run here in just a few minutes. As much as I want to continue watching this on stream. Sending a message to El Salvador. But yeah, hope other than that everybody's having a decent day. I know that was a little bit of buzzkill unless you were short, but I'm pretty sure nobody in this chat was. I thought about going short, but I just said no position because it just was a little too uncertain. After I saw that nasty crash last night and I woke up, or I was awake and I saw it. Yep, he's the target. I just, not when you're uncertain, there's no reason to go to sleep and leave your position unattended to for 8 hours. Who knows what's going to happen in those 8 hours? And sure enough, I woke up to see that, yeah, we were at a 255 dip last night. But then we went all the way down to $2.07. So if I had a leveraged position, I would have also been liquidated, which would have been very sad. So if you're not feeling certain, just it's all right to close your position and look for a new entry the next day. This right here isn't too great from Bitcoin here. You don't want to see a rejection of the 47,000 level. A little concerning. Little concerning, guys. Yeah, I don't like this too much. We could have had a bit of a fake breakout there. We're really going to have to see what happens at these EMAs. What you don't want to see is us really getting back into here, especially going below this kind of like support line area here at right around 46.5. We don't want to get back in this trend channel and start entertaining that again. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of what's going on here. There's even an angle that could potentially say that we did not break and hold above the trend channel still. So yeah, not too fond of what Bitcoin's doing at this moment. ADA 245 though. ADA is doing its thing. Good for ADA. But for ADA to keep doing this, it's going to need Bitcoin to not dump here. So good bleeding, a little waiting for next move. Yep, hopefully we'll be back ready for a nice big green next move here. And I just need this to get above these lines here. And I think we're just kind of stalling out for the EMAs to come up. El Salvador investment went down. Yeah, it'll go up pretty substantially, though. And what's going on, Tripper? All right, let's get above this line here. Por favor. Gracias. Let's see. ADA's still rolling. ADA at 246 here. Check that out. Rolling, guys. Let's check on Dogecoin. Dogecoin's not quite rolling, but it's doing fine. It's doing fine. 2.5, a little under 255. Down 16% still on the day. What's the ADA? Down 13%. All right. So it's gained a lot of traction because it was down 1% less. And now it's down like 5% less. So that's good. Right? Yeah. 4%. Bitcoin down 10%. A lot of messing around right here. Not my favorite thing. All right, kind of reclaiming the EMA there. Good. El Salvador bought at the peak too. Yeah, they sure did. The whales gave him a little surprise. What's going on? What's going on, Aurora Nation? I like that hype introduction. Welcome to the stream, man. We're just about to wrap up, though, in a minute here. What do I think ADA will do on the 12th? Up or down? Would I buy the next dip or sideline until then? I would definitely buy the next dip. ADA going to the 12th, as long as Bitcoin isn't doing anything crazy like it is today, ADA should be back near or above $3 by the 12th. Now, come the 12th, there will probably be a sell-off. So, by all means, I would not recommend buying probably after the 10th. Because we're probably going to be a little extended at that point, and then on the 12th, there's probably going to be a new sell, which is not generally something you want to be a part of. But for ADA, I would feel pretty comfortable buying in. I mean, honestly, now, I mean, I'm in at like 240. What am I in at? Yeah, 240 and a half, almost 241. That's where my position is. And that's a super, super low dip. Don't forget, just a couple days ago, we were at 290. We were up here hoping we get a pullback to 270. And instead, we got a pullback down to $2 flat. But obviously, that was at a random time and very, very brief. And now, but what we're really getting is a pullback to like 240, 250. And there's going to come a time over the next couple days where this is back up to 270, 280, 290. And anybody that didn't buy at 240 is going to regret that. So I definitely think ADA will go down on the 12th. Leading up to the 12th, I think it'll go up, though. And that's what I want to be in for. And if I'm in low enough and on the 12th it doesn't crash enough, I might not even sell my position. I might just hold it and wait for, you know, the $8 or $4 or $5 move. Yeah, the people that calls it. Exactly. The whales that were actually awake that caused the drop in the first place. Exactly. ADA is losing a little steam here due to Bitcoin's activities. I'm just trying to decide, do I want to scalp this position or DCA in? It really depends on what I think Bitcoin's going to do next, because I could lock in $100 here. But this needs to bounce off of this. ADA's just being so bullish now, I almost don't want to cut, and I'd rather use that profit as like a buffer for my loss in case I put in too much up high. Bitcoin's still doing all right. ADA's still pushing. Won't pull the trigger quite yet. I'm like scalping with leverage on the sidelines over here. I'm in ADA at 245, but want more because Preezy said so. Hey, I don't think more is a bad idea at all. I don't think it is. I would probably save a little bit, though, in case we do get another 220 dip or something, because I wouldn't write that off quite yet. But after, like, today and tomorrow, I'm pretty pretty bullish on the overall ADA trajectory. Indeed it is. Yeah, that 21-cent dip on Doge, the $2 dip on ADA, the 43,000 dip on Bitcoin, man, all of those were crazy. Only one that wasn't that crazy in my opinion was the 3,000 dip on Ethereum. I don't know. Yeah, it was good, but it didn't like blow my mind. Maybe because it's so expensive. And it was already back up to like where it came from. It was already really expensive for what it was. That 127 position on ADA saved my life. Hey, I'm glad. Crypto over here saving lives. Good night. I expect a flash crash a flash rise when I wake up. That's fair. That is fair. I'm with you there. Hopefully we'll have one to talk about tomorrow, man. Thanks for hanging out, Peter. Hey, what's up, Seven? You know, last night into this morning, Seven, was the one time I fully expected to hear a 2-cent prediction from you, and I wouldn't have been mad. But I didn't hear it, man. Where'd your 2-cent where'd your 2-cent projections go? ADA is a great investment, yes. No problem, Lori. ADA's holding up nice, waiting for Bitcoin to decide. Let's throw the EMAs back up here on other time frames to remind ourselves of what the targets could potentially be. Don't forget on the 4-hour time frame, we're trying to stay above this 200 EMA line. So far, not bad. Here, could be better. Could be better. I still think it's a little indecisive here. As well as here, still could be better. In my opinion, that's not super great. See how we're kind of getting stuck under this slant downward? We need to get out above that. There we go. Exactly, yeah. How fast it can potentially go to the other side just as quick. Exactly. That's why I'm always afraid of being out for too long. You just never know when something's going to take off overnight. Because, I mean, yeah, that was short. That was short today. I mean, that was to the downside today because of the way it played out with liquidations. But the same thing could have happened if people were overly short. You know, in the form of a short squeeze. People overshorting. All right, this isn't looking too good. People overshorting Bitcoin. And then overnight, whales bumping the price up, and then causing a liquidation in the other direction and causing a short squeeze. I'm not feeling too great about this. We lost a little too much momentum, guys. I'm pretty comfortable with my ADA gain here. If this candle keeps messing around too much, I might just cut and lock in my $100 and then wait for a re-entry once we actually get above the trend line. That is what my thought process is right now, because I'm already up a decent amount. I'm fine with a $100 gain for the short period of time I've been in this position. But I would like to see Bitcoin not keep messing around with these support levels. Go, Bitcoin, go. We are getting a consolidation slanting downward. Typically, that's going to be a more bullish thing. We should be breaking out to the top side, which is why I'm not just hitting the trigger. And ADA's still pretty bullish. But we'll see what manipulation brings to the table. A lot of consolidation here. Little disappointed in ACH. Why is that? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lock this in while it's still super high. I think Bitcoin is going to take off, but I'm trading with leverage, so it's a little strategy here. This does look like it's going to go up there, so that's good. I'm going to lock this profit in real quick and then start trading with that profit. How about that? How about that? It is still rolling, by the way. Crazy. There we go. Is Solana too high to get in? Not necessarily, but Solana is very extended. That's the problem. It's not like it's too high to get in, but it's just so extended that it's a little awkward. It's just a little awkward, in my opinion. If we're just to take a look. Because just keep in mind, not too long ago, we were like, just a week ago, we're right here at $100. A week before that, we were right here at like 60. And now we're up at near 200. It is just, you know, we're a little extended. But as far as timing is concerned, man, this dip to 134 probably would have been a good one. That was the 200 EMA. The 100, the 134, the 138. Even this one earlier today at 150. Buying at 170 just seems a little high. Yeah, I agree with Breezy. I think there is more room to go. It's just a little high, though. I don't like doing those higher risk buys where it feels like I might be chasing. That's why I really was super patient for a dip on ADA. I was like, if it's really not going to pull back, okay, but I'm going to wait as long as I possibly can without waiting too long to see if I can get the pullback that I want. Because I really don't like positions where it feels like I'm chasing and it feels like I need to mess with it because like as soon as I enter it, I feel like I'm wrong. I just don't like that kind of stress. That's just me personally. But, all right, let's see what Bitcoin's doing here. All right, Bitcoin's struggling a little bit, guys. I'm not going to lie. Struggling a little bit more than I would like. But it is still right in the 50. Dot, I don't know much about either. Hasn't really been on my radar. Yeah. Bitcoin didn't hold that very well. We'll see how this plays out. Though things were starting to look good, guys. I mean, we kind of broke out to the top side there. Now we're pulling back yet again. This starts to put us in awkward territory. I don't like that. There's a potential stopping point right here at 47.7. I mean, 46.7. And then kind of a bottom, the lowest I would expect it to reverse, which is going to be here, where we could still see this little trend line get broken and us see a move to the top side. Until that happens, though, I would just play it very, very conservatively, very carefully, and keep an eye on your positions, because we don't know what the market's really feeling like doing here. If they're still bearish and feel like there needs to be another pullback deeper down to these levels or anywhere down here, or if they're good to go and move up. So just keep a close eye on the charts here. Obviously, that most likely won't play out for that long, but it's just kind of what we're working with. There we go, a little bounce there. Cool. I don't necessarily have a great recommendation for whether you should be long right now, short, in or out, anything like that. All I'm saying is there's still some clear bearishness in the market. Now at 43, obviously a lot of bullish momentum, and we recovered back to the 200 EMA, but now we've been messing around a lot underneath of the 4-hour 200 EMA. And yes, it can still, the candle's not over, but just overall, it's just a little weaker than I would like to see it. When you start going down on the time frames, you can kind of see more of a rejection of the top side of the triangle across the board. Even here, we really want this to turn into a green candle moving up. Taking a look here, same idea, but like I said, looking at these two lines is pretty much all I'm giving it. I don't want to be in for waiting for all of this to happen. I want to see some confirmation that we're going to be moving up. These kind of positions aren't my favorite ones to hold, and then I have to, when the time comes at the bottom, I have to start deciding, like, am I going to hold this through? Where am I going to cut? That's why I always say I like to buy low and sell high. Even if selling high means I don't get to wait and see what's going to happen next. Whatever high is at that point, if I don't think it's going to go higher off of a pullback and a move back up, then I'll just sell at the top and wait and see what happens. Worst case scenario, if I sold here at the high because I didn't really feel confident that it was going to continue up, then I get to wait, see what happens here, and at any time between wherever it ends up stopping at and back to this point, I get in. It's almost like either I break even, like nothing ever happened, I just get back in the trade if I buy back right here, or I make off even better because then I get to get in lower. I sold high and I get to buy back in cheaper. So very low risk strategy there. Sometimes you're wrong and yeah, it keeps going up, but that's just the better way for me, I've noticed. And it's just doing a little much for me right now. Didn't hold above the 200, didn't hold above the 50, didn't hold above the 100. On the 1 minute time frame, the shorter term EMAs are still under the 200 EMA, going up all the way up to like 15, 30 minutes. Still the same concept. You've got the 50 and the 100 under the 200 EMA. It's usually pretty bearish. And on the higher time frames, it's on its way down. So we'll just have to see. But that's probably about where I'm going to leave it tonight, guys. Just keep an eye out. Maybe map this triangle out for yourself. But just looking for a break above, like, up to 47. If we could get to 47 and beyond, I'd feel pretty confident. But if we're going to start heading back down under 46.5 and then down to 46 flat and below, not feeling so confident. And that's going to give you your indicator for Bitcoin, for Dogecoin, and ADA, and ETH. Really wanting that ETH dip. Missed that 3K flash dip. Anyone else buying ETH? Yeah. Good thing about ETH, though, is that even more so than ADA, you can feel pretty confident buying in that, knowing that, it's a matter of time before you get your money back, even if you bought high. So, and I don't know why Weeble keeps glitching out my chart there. But Probably the only chap to lose $9 in Sol. That's pretty unfortunate. It's been on quite the bull run. What else am I buying on these dips? Really just ADA. I usually stick to one coin. So for now, it's ADA. I will entertain Dogecoin if it looks like it's doing better, but I just feel like with my trading style where I like to be a little more active, but I like to hold things for like days to a week, if I really can, to catch a nice big move. ADA has that perfect time frame set up because, like I said, in 5 days, that'll be the 12th on Sunday. That is when smart contracts are supposed to drop. So I'm expecting a move within like the next 4 days, and so that's a perfect holding period. Dogecoin doesn't have any catalysts that I know of that should be dropping before then, so this should be a nice play where I could at the least buy into ADA now at whatever dip presents itself, hold it for a couple days, sell it if it goes really, really high and it looks like it's going to do some pullback for a day or two, and flip back over to Doge that hasn't run up quite yet. That's what I'd like to happen in a perfect world, but we'll see. By the way, guys, if you're looking at on the exchange I trade, you're looking at all the cryptos, everything's red except for Sol, right there at the top, the only green on the day, up 6%, just acting like it is above the market. Gotta love that. What's going on, Alex? All right, guys, I do have to run. I've got something going on in a couple minutes, but thank you all for hanging out today. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see this play out a little more, or how we liked it. But we did. I mean, we're still holding at this 46.7 level. There, like I said, there's a lot of support here. If it fails here, we still have 46.6, but I just really didn't want to see us not break out there. That's a little disappointing, and so I'm just being more careful now. But keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on Doge. If you see a good entry, we're at good prices. Don't be scared to at least start scaling in if you're not 100% confident. Start to get like just your trade started. At least start racking up some profit in case you were right. And even if you weren't super confident, which means you didn't all in because you didn't want to just go instantly deep into red if you were wrong. Scale in if you think you're at a good price, but you don't know. That is the move. A little bit now, 25% up to like 50%. Wait till you have a good amount of profit. If it's like, oh man, we're on a bull run now, I was right, then dump the rest in somewhere up higher. No harm in that. Yes, and thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. Oh man, sorry about that, Chosen. Average is lower than 3 on Ethereum. That's why I'm not buying. I don't want my average to go higher. Hey, that's perfectly fair. I understand. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Of course, I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Click subscribe before you go and before I go, right now. If you have not, that way you can be here for tomorrow's stream where we'll be covering whatever happens next and hopefully having a better idea of what to predict and where exactly to buy or sell. But thank you for all the support, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening, night, day, whatever time zone you're in. Peace.